Okay, so my intake. Okay, I just got to watch Brett Cooper talking about all the mentally ill fucking people we have in the Democrats. Okay, but Republicans are not really doing anything. All right, I'm sorry, but I am not either side. All right, neither. I think the honest are playing cat and mouse with us people. All right, it's no different than the story of the angels that fell with Lucifer and the angels that stood with God, and the angels that did nothing but yet still fell with God. All right, and I'm sorry, but I do not believe that either side is on the people's side. The system is not on our side. The Republicans and Democrats are backed by the same system that runs the country. All right, both Democrat and Republican Party and all the other parties run for office, and they don't really talk. All right, they just slander each other, bash each other, bring up old theories and experiences and classified documents and emails and Hunter Biden's laptop. And they just slander each other. All right, and they talk about when they do talk about fixing the country. They use buzzwords, like bring jobs back, make America great again. I mean, like, and it's just like neither one of them are on our side. All right, the government is not here for us. Here for themselves. All right, I'm sorry, but we need a revolution. All right, we need another Tea Party. We need another Civil War. We need that's what the whole they're after our Constitution, for Christ's sake. All right, our gun rights. I'm sorry, but the main one that gets talked about is our freedom of speech. And our right to bear arms. And I'm sorry, but the Constitution was written to keep the government and the system in line, so not to tread on us, tread on the people. Don't tread on me. All right, you don't get to just walk all over the government or walk all over the people. All right, you can't really walk, all over the government. And with all of the technology advancements in modern day age, I mean, would we survive very long with government in a fight, in a civil war? No, probably not. But it's still our right to die for what we believe in. That's what the Second Amendment was for, is to keep the protect us. It had nothing to do with hunting. All right, it had nothing to do with hunting. It had the right to keep to keep things fair. It'll give us a chance to say, whoa, government, you're stepping over the line. And if you don't, because come on now, people, we are the blood, the sweat, and the tears of this country. We are the cement, bricklayers. We are the electricians. We are the people that fix the roads. We are the people that work in the medical fields. We are the workers that drive semi trucks, to do constructions and build all these skyscrapers and buildings and houses and town centers and neighborhoods. I mean, we're the ones that do all those jobs, and then we pay taxes to go to our government and our system to keep this country afloat. All right, we are the ones that are keeping this country alive. The gift system is the one that runs it all, but it brings in benefits for themselves. None of us are that are in the 80th percentile of the working class, the people that are dealing with all these drug problems, the ones that are dealing with the family members that are on drugs, the ones that are dealing with making sure our bills are paid, worried about losing our job, and not to assault or insult somebody to where we lose our job over this stupid woke crap, or how these families are tearing apart because this whole transgender shit, or not talking to family members because they vote Republican or Democrat. It's just to keep us divided. We are the only ones that suffer in this. We are the only ones that pay for this. We are the only ones that are dealing with all this BS crap that the system is feeding and bleeding into us, through a vein to feed us through the social media and everything. And everybody's just taking it, most are taking in what is being said as truth, instead of listening to what's being said and thinking about it, and then coming up with their own, opinion off of what has been said. All right, people are just being mindless drones, zombies, brainwashed idiots, and just fall. It's like standing in line, but not knowing what the line is until it's too late and you find out that you're going to the butcher house. Alright? Or it's standing in line and then turning in your taxes when you bring stuff to the table for all of us to eat, and you don't even get to eat at the banquet, alright? And you get fed the scraps that they don't even feed the dogs, and then you get slapped in the face and then told to say thank you for what you're given and go back to work. Alright? I'm sorry, I mean, I'm not saying like you don't have control over your destiny, because I do believe if you learn the game and learn the system and learn this and learn that you can navigate it, and get up there. But I just don't think it's easy for us people, like, to make it really there. I'm sorry, like, I think all these people that are on the internet, Candace Owens, Brett Cooper, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, Trump, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. They're just actors and actresses. All right, to paint a picture of, this reminds me of the Hunger Games. Of that stupid, like, reject with those funny teeth and the funny hair that has that talk show when all the Hunger Game people come in and they talk to them for a few minutes, and all these other people just flashy lights and all that. And, us, okay, we're the people that live in those like villages. We're the people that live in the districts, all right? That's who we are. And if you look in, idiocracy, that's how our society is going. And if you look at division, all right, that's how we're being divided up, all right, between straight, gay, bisexual, black, white, rich, poor, drug addict, victim, oppressor. Like, we're just being broken up into individuals. And then you throw on top of that with a little bit of Truman Show, where all of this is a giant entertainment, TV soap opera for the elite to watch and just laugh and, cry over. Just like, I know there's a movie that actually did that, to where they, record the reality for a TV show for aliens or something. And all these aliens are just laughing at us, the TV show. Like our reality is like a soap opera to an alien. All right, that's how we're being treated. All right, and I'm tired of the system. I'm tired of this life. I want more. I've got drive. But you get dealt the hand that you're dealt, and you gotta make the best of it. And I mean, there's some people that are never gonna like go above average. It's like a golden goose you find, and even some golden goose eggs don't get hatched and don't get used. Not everybody that's supposed to be somebody makes it, and not everybody is gonna make it. It's a luck of the draw sometimes. But it's just, I'm just fed up with how the world has become and how much we have fallen, and how much we just turn against our neighbors and turn against our family and friends. And it's really sad how, like, hey, it's really sad on how, like, a friendship that could last 5, 10, 15, 20 years is, like, not really known all that much. I mean, who really has a friend or a lot of friends or a group of friends that they've known for 20 years? Nowadays, really. I mean, smallest things set people off and break friendships up. Nuclear family is shunned against, and we're too busy pointing fingers at each other to just say, we're both at blame. Who really cares who's doing more? Like, I mean, I know I got some blame in it. Like, I know you got some blame in it. I mean, you might have 70, I might have 30. I might have 70, you might have 30, but who cares on that? We both have shit to work on. And let's just move past this and just, let's be realistic with it. And it's just the world. I mean, all the school shootings. Hey, don't get that close to TV. All the school shootings and all this stuff the system is, using to divide us and get us to bitch and moan and complain about. And then on top of that, then you got the war that's with Ukraine and Russia, and all this talk about North Korea and Putin are like trying to be buddy, and nuclear war could possibly be right around the corner. And I'm sorry, but we've never been through something like that. Like if bombs start to fall, like the thought process and theory behind nuclear war is that once one gets launched, all of them get launched. And I don't like, it don't matter. Like Russia can have this like weird chain where like, if half the new people don't, agree, then those ones don't get launched. But our country, and I think North Korea and a lot of others, don't have that. We have a red button that gets pushed and everything gets launched. It's like a remote. All right. I think Russia and a few others might be the only ones that have a chain reaction. Like if, president says launch missiles, and the generals that launch them don't agree, they don't launch them. But I mean, to my knowledge, everybody else has you know push a button and shit and just launch a shit, and that's only, like, in my personal opinion, that's only going off of what we believe. I don't believe our government and Putin and North Korea and all other governments, I don't even believe that they're the real government. So I don't believe that they're the ones that are going to be pushing these red buttons that really control the money train and really they're the ones that really get, paid off of the blood and sweat and tears of the people. Like, I have a whole different aspects and theory about, like, I think the Illuminati and Freemason. It's just, did it really happen? Yes. Were they real? Maybe. But I think that history that we've been, forced to learn and memorize and believe to be truth, I think is a load of shit. I think it's actually a fake history. All right, that's just a hit. Like, there's like two. It's like there's two different histories that go along with our human history, where ones that we're taught and the one that really goes on, the one that's really our history. And I just think this is like a giant Truman story. It's like a storyline that we're going off based off of. But but just going off of what we're told or what's going on in this reality, it's getting scary out there. I mean, people are. I mean, this whole shit about stores being closed down and shutting down, and being shut down and boarded up and going online where, people are getting terrified to really leave the house, and it's so much easier to just have shit delivered to you. And that, I think martial law, I think that's the reality version of martial law. Martial law is not going to happen like they show in the movies. All right, not at all. Like, I think a lot of the shit they show in movies isn't even close to how, like, one world governments would react. How martial law would be put in place. That's not, especially with how easy it is to manipulate people's heads in this day and age. Like, they would make it. They use the 1950s method of the housewife, where, like, housewives would, like, give their husband ideas and cues and hints about ideas and all that, to where they would make it think it's their idea, and then the housewife would get what they want, and then the man just feels like, yeah, I did good this time. I think that's their whole aspect that the government has. I think they're gonna make it to where we think it's a good idea. I mean, look at, they're trying to take our guns rights away, and all this, forced language, that we have to respect how people feel. No, I don't. All right, like, it's not like, I think that I can have, like, especially with this trans. I mean, like, I had a time with my girl, like, this trans shit. Like, I can have, I might be using the wrong words for different, but I can have empathy for what you're going through, but I don't have to have sympathy for how you're handling it. All right, I get it. Your head's all over the place. You don't know, but just because you feel like a woman doesn't mean you aren't, and doesn't mean you need to go chop yourself up. All right, it's the same philosophy that most people had about the whole people that do body modifications, about getting horns and implants and make your cheeks more defined. That was weird. All right, but that's not as weird and dangerous as this trans stuff is being. All right, I know it's odd. I want horns. Okay, I wanted them. I looked them up. $5,000 a piece. I want goat horns. All right, but that's a lot of money. $10,000 for just horns that come surgically into my skull. All right, but definitely with this day and age, I won't get them, because, like, this whole, like, how people are just so sensitive and judgmental today. It's just mind blowing. But it's like, I won't do that, because it's just. But this trans stuff is dangerous. It's dangerous. Like, and I'm sorry, but nobody's really saying that you don't exist and that we don't want you to exist. All right, but we're not going to be forced to speak the way you want to speak. We're not going to be forced to believe a lie, because that's what it is. All right, it's a definition of is believing something that's not factual based. All right, and believing in biology, it does not mean I'm a bigot. All right, and like teaching straight sex in school, all right, is not technically teaching straight sex in school. All right, it's teaching basic biology, how the human race reproduces. All right, male and female. All right, X X Y X or X Y, however you know. But and it takes both, to create another human being. All right, and the process of 9 months, and the child will be born. If everything goes to plan and everything, and the baby's allowed to live. All right, fetus, offspring, child. My child, not yours. All right, and like that. So that's I think, in my personal opinion, that's the foundation of like straight sex. It's just teaching sex ed. That's what it used to be. Sex ed used to be teaching you like how to put the condom, because it was be smart. We understand hormones come at a certain age, and shit happens. All right, you have sex. All right, I lost my virginity at 16. And it's just teaching you about how like be safe. Teach you about STDs, teach you about pregnancy. And teaching you if you get pregnant. This is what's gonna happen. And I think sex ed should be more of a reality check basis educational field. And where it teaches you about basic biology and what happens if you have sex and what to worry about and be cautious and prepare you for it. And then honestly, the birds and the bees and your sexuality and who you're into and all that shit, that you can have a talk with your parents. All right, and that's what I think you should have a talk with. You can have a talk with that with your friends. You can have a talk with that, with your parents. And if you got good parents that have good, adult friends that your kid, your friends are parent, then you can have a talk with their parents, or you can have a sit down with everybody to get a, opinion on, because like I don't have a problem with lesbian, bisexual, and gay. All right, to each their own. I mean, like I've come to realize that I thought I was bisexual, but I come to find out that I am straight, just with some gay kinks. All right, per se, in my personal opinion. But my girl's bi, and I mean I don't have a problem with that, and I don't really probably have a problem with drag queens. It's just that, come on, be realistic. You don't need to have that around kids. All right, that's no different than like I'm not bringing my kid to a strip club or Hooters. Like I'm not taking my kid to a drag show. Even though, like, I mean, I know I have a friend that actually does drag, and I actually have two friends that do drag, and they're both gay. And I think there are some straight men that enjoy drag, and there are times that they do sing, they do old classic music. It's not all sexualized, but it is based in sexuality in a nutshell. I think personally it is, I mean, it's kind of based in sexuality with, guys wanting to dress up in dresses and, and wear makeup and all that. But it's not, I mean, I still want to bring my kids to it. And, and I just don't, and then you got all these, like, the gay pride. I'm sorry, that I truly do believe that pride was originally, like, just like feminist was a good movement at the beginning. I think gay pride was a good movement at the beginning, but they missed the whole meaning behind it. My personal opinion is like gay pride was not about my sexuality being accepted, but more me and my sexuality being accepted in society. I don't think we need to, like, it's not having to feel, hatred, or shame on being who I am, or fall in love with who I fall in love with. And it's not really about like, oh, God made a mistake. No, because you know what? If he didn't make a mistake, he made you how you are. And you know what? I have a little wishy-washy about being born gay. I do think you could be. I don't really think you're born gay per se. I think you can have more female tendencies, and then you just come to find it, attractive to men, and not really women. Or I mean, I think it's definitely a field about the whole gay gene. It's definitely a field that I think definitely needs to be researched and looked into and studied a lot more about why, it happens, because it definitely does go against, you know, in a way, God's, word, and in a way it goes against um, basic biology, about how like it takes a man and a woman to have a baby, so it kind of does go against the basic foundation of of evolution and biology and religion. But is it wrong or bad or evil? No, no, I'm I find it really hard. Like, oh well, you lay with a man or you lay with a girl, you're not allowed in heaven. Okay, I'm a little. I don't kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, so like just because I'm gay and or I'm a lesbian and I lay down with my sex means I'm not worthy enough to go to heaven. I don't know. That bugs me. So I mean, like, I don't have a problem with all that, and I'm kind of rambling, and this kind of started off with just government aspects, but I do feel like one of the things I told my girl is like I do definitely feel like all of this stuff that I talk about, I think all has to do. It's all the same thing. It's like a giant spider web, and each line is one of these topics that I bring up between chants and pronouns and the rainbow mafia and straight people and rich people and government and the system and politics and how life started, and like, I think it's all one giant spider web. But I think I'm just gonna leave it there because I mean I can talk about this stuff for ever, obviously. But I just feel like, one, I definitely feel like, I mean, it's the same theory I have with with this whole trans. I mean, like, I do believe, like, in somewhat there is some truth in the whole trans, because the whole myth. I mean, if people believe in reincarnation and past lives, I actually had this epiphany of before, but then last life you could have been a chick, all right, and the life before that you could have been a chick, and the life before that you could have been a dude, all right. I mean, and you're just born with more of a balance, you know, personality of men and female, or you're a little bit more masculine, or you're a little bit more feminine, you know. But I mean, that's my theory on that. So I mean, I understand that. I guess you can feel like um, you're not in the right body, but I don't think that. I mean, one, I do believe this body is obviously not how I truly feel like I look. That's why I want horns, you know. But this body is just a vessel to interact and experience the realm of physical, the realm that we're in right now, the realm of physical. All right. But our soul and consciousness and conscience is the spiritual essence that gives us, our programming to, that we get booted up with. And that is all energy. All right. So, and energy doesn't have a gender. I mean, it has a frequency, it has a pulse, it has a wave, has a spark, has a certain heat or temperature, but it doesn't have a gender. All right. Um, and this body is not. It's a suit. That's it, really. Should you take care of it? Yes. I mean, I don't think it's like more like, I think it's like an Iron Man suit. I think we need to take care of it, treat it right, respect it, give it what it needs, you know. And so that way it lasts us. It lasts us for a good life cycle of our time to be here. But I don't think we need to like. It goes along with the whole. I don't think we need to treat it like a temple, in a matter of speaking. And I think like once the body, once the person leaves, I don't think we need graveyards. I think that does more harm for people here to hold on to a physical essence of somebody that we love that's no longer here. All right. And we're taking up land and just throwing dead corpses into a box, then burying them 6 feet under, and then putting a cement slab there that forever imprint that their name and date of birth and death there, and a little quote, that's, they liked or they said and this and that, and then go there every now and then just to reminisce, and remember the, good times and bad times and think about them. I mean, I think it just keeps you in a cycle of just sorrow. I mean, you don't really move on from that. I mean, nobody that's dead that truly cared about you wants you to do that. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Um, but yeah, I mean, so that goes more about with the body. Like, I just think, once I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, don't miss this. Miss who I was, miss what I stood for, and live for that. All right. Don't miss this body that I was, the face that you remember. Miss the laughs that I gave you. Miss the joy that I brought to you. Miss the bad times and the good times, and I mean, the memories that we had. And make more, in my name. Make more for me, because I can't make any more memories. So make more for me. And live life. And when you get, wherever I'm at, hopefully I'm at the right place you're at, we could talk about them. Like, you lived, like, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years longer than I did. How's life down there? Because who knows if I'm able to actually watch them from above, or hear rumors through the grapevine in hell, about how the world is becoming. So, like, maybe I don't know anything that's going to be going on. It's like, shit, in 100 years after you meet up with me, it's the year 2023, like, it's like, did we finally get flying cars? Nope. Like, we can have good times, and, you can keep me updated with how things are going. And then, another 100 years, or another 50 years, like, somebody else we knew dies, and then they can tell us, like, what happened. We could just, pick up where we left off. But these are just my little, like, my brain does not shut up. This is, I mean, what goes on in my head 24/7. But yeah, I think I'll end it there. And yeah, be good, people.